Hello students! In this tutorial you are going to learn how to load a slideshow called PowerPoint. So you have to be in your email, and you know how to do that. You go over to your apps. Just to remind you, they're all the little tiles. Sometimes you see them over here, and sometimes you might see them over here. But when you go into your apps, you are looking for this tile that says PowerPoint. It may not be located here for you. You just need to find something that looks like this. It has a little text and a P. Once you find that, you're going to select it. And you want a new blank presentation. Select that. And the very first thing we're going to do is put your name on it. And right here is where you do it. So I made mine my last name. It used to say presentation 1. You make yours that last name too. So if you're Mary Margolovsky, you're putting down Margolovsky. If you're Bo Bunt, you put down Bunt. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add a title. Do you see right here where it says click to add title? So if I select that, those words go away and we can add our own title. I am learning. And a subtitle goes down here, which means something that goes with your title, but it's not as important. Watch me learn this software. Whatever you want to put. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to add a new slide. So to add a new slide, this is what you need to choose. And then you get some formats of how it's going to look. When you see these skinny little boxes, that's where you can put words. So I could put words up here, or I could put words down here. And then where you see the open spot, that's where I could put a graph or a picture. And if I use my scroll bar, there's even more. I can even use one that's just blank. So I am going to do this one, title and content. I choose add slide, and it shows up here. So as you're learning about things, for instance, you just did animal research. So maybe I wanted to put predators for my title. You'll notice that it ends up on the left side of this print box. Oops, looks like I'm spelling it wrong. I see a red line, so I'm going to right-click that red line, and this is how I spell predators, and then I left-click that to get the right spelling. Anytime you see a red line, you should right-click it and see what it's telling you. You can do that, or you can go up here and make it go in the middle. You can even make it go on the right side. Okay. I'm going to say I want it in the middle. Then anytime you add text, which are words, I'm going to say the eagle is a predator. I'm going to pretend that sharks are predators for this pretend animal I have. And lastly, I'm going to pretend that little furry kittens are predators, which is just silly of me. You see how it has a bullet by each one? I can use those bullets, or I can decide to highlight this, and I could have chosen a different looking bullet. Go ahead and choose to put a couple of words and see if you can find an area to put bullets. And then you can stop. Okay, now if it's time to learn more, I want you to pretend that you don't want one of these check marks again. So what you have to do is you have to go back up by this bullet icon and say none, and it disappears. Now I'm going to pretend I want to insert a picture. If I insert a picture, I have to have a file, or if I insert an online picture, I can do pictures from Bing. And what happens is if I can spell it right, it will give me pictures that are okay to use. They filter it by making sure that you have permission to use this without getting into trouble. So I'm going to pretend that I was researching zebras. and then type it in. And oh, this is kind of cool. I know it's photoshopped, but I like it. I click it, and I have to choose insert, or I have to double click it. And there's my picture. Now over here, did you see these design ideas? It's saying maybe you like the way it looks here, or maybe you like one of these design ideas, and it gives you some ideas, gives you some choices. I think this one's pretty cool, so I'm going to choose it, and it automatically switched my screen to look like this. Maybe I want my picture bigger, so I click on that, make sure I have a box around it, and if I take the corner and expand it, and then I hold it and move it, I can make it bigger. Now I don't want to see this because it's taking up too much of my screen, so I just go and I close that window. I want a new slide. I want you to think about how can we get a new slide? You go up to New Slide. And I'm just going to go with this same kind and say Add Slide. And now I'm going to pretend that I have some more information to give about it, so I'm going to say Habitat. This time I'm going to choose that I don't want text. I can just leave that there. And if I go here to Online Pictures, it automatically brings me here, and I'm going to pretend that this fictional zebra animal I'm coming up with lives in grasslands. And then I look for the picture. Ooh, I like that one. I can double click it. Double click it. Okay, it's not working, so I'm going to single click it and then hit Insert. See this Creative Commons license? That means that I can use this picture without getting in trouble. And it's way too small, and it gives me some design ideas, so I like this one. And I'm going to choose that. And then I minimize this window by closing it. The last thing I'm going to show you is how this will look when it's on a projector. Slides are always meant to be in the background of the speaker. And friends, people my age put too many words on the slides. They're already speaking, so our brains are getting words through their speech. It's better to have fewer words and something to look at which makes sense with what the person's talking about. So if you want to know what this is going to look like, what you need to do is go from this tab which says Home. See how every time I click I get new tools? Well, I need to go all the way to View. If I go to View, I want to watch this from the beginning, but I want to show you something. Do you see this right here? I have pop-ups were blocked from this page. I'm going to try to view it from the beginning, but sometimes that doesn't work. It worked right now. To get to the next slide, all I have to do is click. I see my next slide. Click. I see my last slide. And then it's done. If it doesn't work for you, go up to this. Pop-ups were blocked on this page. And put, it's probably over here where it says continue blocking pop-ups. What you'll need to do is to always allow the pop-ups from this. And then choose Done. And then it'll work. Usually that's what gets a little caught up for you. So if you get this far when I'm gone, I'd be very surprised. It's a lot of work to do, but we're going to do even more with this in the coming weeks. Have a good day, kids. I miss you.